G'day viewers, welcome to another super cool helpful repair video from the Goat Shed, located in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. So today is Monday 20th of November 2023. It's 19 degrees Celsius outside, which is approximately 66.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Now just over the weekend we were presented with a Centigrade 37 from Gottlieb. Now, this is a machine which came out in August of 1977, and the preceding machine to it was Super Spin, and the machine to follow it was Fire Queen. Now this is an interesting game. It was designed by a guy called Alan Edwall. Now, I'd not really ever heard of him. I assumed this was a Krinsky game. Alan Edwall ended up designing some solid state games and everything, but he also did the EM Charlie's Angels and the solid state one. So the guy's made 2 EM games and the rest solid state. I found that quite fascinating. The artwork by the effervescent Gordon Morrison. Now, Centigrade 37 is the core temperature of the human body, and in Fahrenheit that's 98.6 degrees. Now any medical person would probably know that, so now we all do. Now this game has that ribbon mech in it. There it is there. And this ribbon mech isn't working all that well. Graham will operate that. It's struggling, really struggling. Look at that, barely moving. So we're going to have to go through that. The other problem we've got here is the ball count unit that shouldn't be doing that. See that? That's going backwards and forwards there. So something's not locking in the pawl, the reset arm, something's not right. We're going to have to do that.
And these pins are got to be replaced.
And yeah, the snowshoes aren't good. Now Spanky's, get off there, Spanky.
Yeah,
He's sitting on top of the replay unit. Now, Centigrade 37 has a replay unit, and I can't think of any other games that do. There must be, but part of the startup mech is on the reset arm, or the startup switching circuitry is on the reset arm. And that reset arm is the one with a small pivot screw. If that sticks, you'll get resettings of the game intermittently. A friend of ours overseas had that once, and he really had him tossed, and it wasn't until he got someone else to have a look they discovered that. So you've got to pay careful attention to that. I'll endeavour to illustrate that when we've got that unit out of the game. So here we go with Centigrade 37. We should have this. We should have this finished.
Yeah, back box should be finished by tomorrow.
Yes, and we have our training course coming up this Saturday, so we'll use this game to do a bit of training on as well. What better than a Gottlieb wedge head?
Get a bit of slop there.
So score reels have got to all be checked out. The machine does work, but the owner wanted it sort of tuned up. But this is it, isn't it? You know, you get the games in and you see all these problems, and I mean, yeah, even though it does sort of work, it'll work a lot better when we've finished with it. Won't it, Spank? Oh, there he is down there.
Yeah.
All right, and then we've got the
cabinet to work
on the Playfield and the Motorboard.
Yeah, so this game was at our Pinfest about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was playing a bit rough back then. So at least we know the game was playing, where some games we've had lately haven't been played for a long time. So this should be a pretty straightforward job. No great surprises, I don't think. But like any machine that gets here, we've got to strip it in the whole thing and pretty well start from scratch and repair and fix anything as we go, and check for worn parts, whatever, and bad solder joints completely gone, and just basic switches missing, You know, just normal things, but it's a pretty standard game. We'll knock this over very quickly. Plus we've got the goat to help us.
Oh yes, the goat. He'll give us a hand.
Yeah. He's getting all ready for Christmas.
Well, Christmas isn't that far away. I guess it's roughly about 5 weeks now, and then we'll be in 6 more weeks. We'll be into another year.
Spanky put a bit of grog away for Christmas the other day, but he drank it on the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do with that goat.
Yeah.
I think we need to take him to AA or GA.
Aussie Arcade.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it, eh, Graham?
Yep.
All right.
Time to get into it.
So, just for those who haven't seen one, this is the thermometer mechanism out of the C37. It's essentially the same sort of setup as the ball count unit, which I'm currently working on. It's not subtracting, so it steps up. You can see this one's sticking rather badly, so we'll be attending to that. But once it steps up, oh look, there's part of the problem too. Look, see that, people? Can you see what the problem is there? There's no coil stop. So that won't be helping things. That's probably jamming up in there. So we'll have to attend to that. Now, here's it looking at it from the front. It comes out as a whole unit. I don't think we've ever pulled one of these apart before, but it doesn't look too difficult. We've got a Allen key there, probably 1 or 2 somewhere else, so we'll see how we go with that. And there it goes, it's rising up it goes. There's 2 switches on, one for the special light and one for the special itself. There it is up the top, and you press the reset and it comes all the way to the bottom. So yeah, something different. Now, interesting, isn't it? You know, like it's like Williams Heatwave, as I mentioned, I think earlier, and 1 or 2 other games. Touchdown, Williams Touchdown. It's pretty sticky and dirty. But yeah, that won't help, no coil stop. Alright, let's get on and start working on that. Oh, there you go, there's what the switches do. Inside switch completes replay unit, and second switch lights special. Very good. Okay, we've now finished the head box in the Centigrade 37, and we're sorry about the background noise you may possibly hear in a few minutes of that just gone by in the video. That was the ultrasonic cleaner. Hopefully YouTube filters will remove that, but maybe they won't. So this is underneath the Playfield now. Graham's just undoing the screws to the side rail so we can paint those. But we've inspected it and we've discovered a few things. And one of the things we've worked out is that at some point in time, I'll try and have a little look at that. A lot of additions. Now, let's just try and find one. I can't quite see that. I'm just pointing to the edge of a lamp socket someone's put in there. Up the back on the pop bumpers have all been hardwired because they've got LEDs in there. But what's happened is they've just twisted the wires together and not soldered them. So that's crazy. I mean, who does that?
And we've actually got a socket here someone's put off another game onto here to give a bit more light to the kick-out hole. And they've actually left the comma on there just floating around. It could hit the chassis for anything.
Or the fuse for the...
Yeah, it could hit the fuse.
For the bank.
Like, they just got to cut it off with a pair of tent snips. It's unbelievable.
See what we're faced with, people?
Just laziness.
Yeah, you can't sort of get over it. It's amazing. I think some people are in this for the hobby and some people are in it to make money, I think. And I think this is what happens with a lot of these games.
They just get flipped.
Anyway, the sequence bank looks okay. Bit of work to do on that. And the drop target bank, it needs a little bit of work.
It's only a Ford target bank, but
main thing is, oh yeah, that's loose, typical. You can see that's my fingers moving. That needs tightening up. We'll fix that up.
Yeah. It's not going freely anyway.
And we'll probably end up putting in a flipper kit. That spring there is not really the right one.
That's not original.
And the spring on this side is the wrong one. And the end of strokes switches aren't the best. Not sure if the owner wanted to do that, but I think we're going to have to.
We'll see how we go.
We'd probably be better off doing that. So the motorboard itself, well, I'll have a look at that now. It's not too bad, but we have noticed one or two little things, so let's just take a quick look at the motorboard. So the first thing we notice on the motorboard is someone's put like an automobile type fuse in there with the little lugs on it and soldered it on. Not sure why you would do that. I mean, that's a 15 amp 3AG fuse. They're as common as anything and you can get them anywhere, but who knows. Now there's Spanky on top of the score motor having a little bit of a look around. What have you found, Spanky? Anything at all? Oh, I see. Oh, there you go. Not a lot. So that score motor, we'll check every screw in that, check all the wires are off for being off, etc. So how many relays we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Only a dozen relays on this game, including the tilt relay. This has got a score motor jack, which is good, so you can, for testing purposes. And I think we've got a couple of leg tees that are bad, which we'll fix up on this game. Now the cabinet's not in super good condition, but it's okay. It's got the wrong legs on it. This game has got the large door, so it should have the 27.5 inch legs on it. This has got 2 big ones at the back and 2 short ones at the front. Not that we're going to do anything about that, but that's just the way it is. So we've got the Playfield to clean up now. We've got to re-rubber it. Then we've got to do the mechs underneath, as we just discussed. And then we'll certainly get onto this motorboard. So there's never a dull moment in the goat shed. We were just not, well, this morning when I arrived at the shed around about 7:30, we were then presented with, can we see it? Just over the back there it is, wrapped up in bubble wrap. That's another Grand Slam. So that'll be getting on toward probably last or second last game we do this year. We do have a couple of other little smaller projects, smaller coin operated stuff that people want done. And I'm rather hoping that we'll get my Tropic Isle New Isle stock Playfield done. We tend to do things for other people, not for ourselves, so we've got to think of ourselves sometimes. Viewers, haven't we? Anyway, Spanky will get back onto this and we'll keep you updated as we go along with our progress. Now we're still in the middle of doing this Centigrade 37. Just had a training course go on this weekend, and we used it as the practical machine to demonstrate how to do things such as jump wires in a circuit to isolate faults and stuff like that. What we also discovered, we finished the head box there earlier on last week. The thermometer mech really isn't working 100%, and what we've discovered is, ironically enough, the white bushing or bearing that the escapement wheel goes through has not been fitted in correctly. So someone's had that apart before, and we suspected that, and we missed it, to be quite honest with you, so we've got to pull that down and fit it in properly, because it seems to be causing some odd problems, and I honestly believe that's what the issue is. So I've got to do that. Now, we'll be turning the Playfield over on this shortly. We're just in the middle of refitting the pop bumpers and just doing a little bit of rewiring in the lamp circuit up there. We had to replace one pop bumper lamp holder. Was it one, Graham, or two?
Yeah, one. Yeah, because one of the legs has been cut off for some reason and just hardwired in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So it's just sort of floating around.
Yeah. But that's okay.
And do we leave the leads in there, or do we take them out?
Yeah, I think we'll put them back in.
Okay.
Yeah, I did, yeah. We'll see how they go. Well, we don't like them that good, but we'll see how it looks.
Okay. Alright, so we're just down to that now. Just there on the left of the screen you can see the actual pop bumpers themselves. We've rebuilt those. We didn't have brand new kits to put in that, so we've kind of improvised a little bit and cleaned everything up as best we can. We've turned the fibre yokes around so that the wear point's not where it normally is.
The metal yokes were pretty good.
Metal yokes were good, yeah, they're not too bad. So, and we've just stretched the springs out a little bit manually. We've also fitted a new flipper kits to it. That's all been done.
Jesus.
You can see the flipper kits there with the new bearings. Now, in the past we've done a video concerning these bearings here. One has a boss, the one underneath, under here, has a boss, and it is possible to put them in the wrong way. So some people put the bottom one in the top and vice versa. So you've got to look carefully when you pull those apart. I
think we've done a video on it once.
We did do a video, yeah, we did a video, so go back and check out our video on that and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. Sometimes we'll repeat things, like we may have been able to show you that, but not this time round, because we just probably didn't think to do so at the time. Well, you can see a bit of flame there, that's the heat shrink going on.
Yeah, they've done a mess of this. Someone's jumped wires from God knows where, and it's a bit of a mess. These are not original, of course.
I think this is the third machine in a row, or I think, that where sort of hacks have been carried out, and we've got to sort of try and make sense of those hacks and then repair them. It all adds to the time you've got to put into doing the machine, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But needless to say, yeah, it is. It is what it is. You just got to do it. You just got to grin and bear it, shall we say. Ah, there he is. He just got up. Spanky's just making sure Graham's doing the right thing there.
He was down the Raffles last night at the bowling club. Made a fool of himself again.
Oh, no.
They barred him for a month.
At least he was good for the training course, I suppose. Or he was up until I left.
He had a bit of a turn there later.
Oh, no. It's embarrassing. Alright, people, well, enough of that trivial banter. We'll get on with our job and we'll turn the Playfield over and clean it soon. Alright, so the Playfield's now complete on the Centigrade 37, and we've moved on to the Motorboard. Now, like all games we have here, we sort of run a bit of an eye, had a visual of it earlier on. before we pulled it apart, and we found a few things. But we've even found a few more things now which are a little bit odd. There's no two ways about it. First thing we found was a fuse in the game, where someone's actually soldered an automating fuse onto the blown fuse. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, good God, you just go down to the shop and buy a 15 amp 3AG fuse. Alright, well, we've put a new fuse in, and we also had to put a new slow blow fuse in. The other one was a bit questionable. But while we've been going over the relay bank, we've found a couple of odd problems. And one of those problems is this. Now, I'm going to try and zoom in here and show you. Let's see how we go here. I wonder, okay. So the problem is the hold relay. Now, you can see the hold coil there is quite sort of, well, it's burnt, isn't it? You know, it's not good. But what we discovered, the weirdest part about this is, and this is what I'm really going to have to try and zoom in and show you. This is quite bizarre. Now let's have a look, Graham. Can we see the gap? Oh yeah, okay, look. See the distance, see the distance between there and there. Now that's not right.
That should be flush.
That should be flush. The little tab should be flush with that. What we've found is that frame is bent.
It's bending out there on an angle.
On an angle.
To the left there.
I don't know if you can see that in the photo. We've just about got that perfectly there. So we're going to change that out. Now at the same time, we also found that coil, which looks a bit toasty, was only measuring out around about 14 ohms. Now I believe the schematic calls for an A9736 coil, and they're around about 24 ohms, but a 9735, which is one number below, which has no significance whatsoever, is actually, you know, the lesser number. So someone's probably just said, oh, well, that'll do, and we'll put that in. You're also now looking at, we had the new motor brake. You can see the new wafer on there. That's all done. And we put a new one of those in. So Spanky's up on top of the score motor, just giving the score motor a little bit of a clean there. It looks a whole lot cleaner than what it was. And the only other thing we've noticed, which is a bit bizarre, someone's actually cut the wires off the on and off switch that goes under the motorboard, and they seem to have done a jump up near the transformer end here. So I'm not sure if we're going to worry about that, but looks like Graham's now, he's just going to take the switch stack off there, and we'll refit that coil in a new frame. He's got a nice new handy little Stanley screwdriver in his hand there. Now we bought a couple of these the other day. They're a little pocket driver, see, with a pocket clip on, and they're double-ended, but you can just pull the end off. And we bought these so that we can use them to short switches out and screw up. Just carry in your pocket. Yeah, there you go. And you've always got it, you're not looking around for one. So he's just taping the switch stacks together there so they don't fall apart and break on us. And we're going to have to unsolder the old coil and put a new coil in.
We'll do that last.
Thank goodness it wasn't an A9738, because we've run right out of those.
Actually, we found one.
Oh, that's right, we did find one.
We didn't need. Oh, hang on, now that one's buggered.
Yeah.
We could fix that.
So that one there, just hold that. Hang on, there you go. Look, the wire's broken off it, so we'll have to fix that. And we will.
Then when you fix it, you've got to draw back the protected coating.
That's correct. Get a knife and scrape that coating off so you can get a bit of solder on there. So we actually plugged this machine in over the weekend. I mentioned earlier in the video we use this for a training course, and it does all reset. And I also mentioned a little while ago in the video about the thermometer stepper where the Centigrade, I thought the bearing was faulty. Well, it wasn't the bearing. The bearing did look wrong to me in a way that it was mounted in the machine, but it's just the way it is when we pulled it out. What the actual problem was that the escapement wheel was sort of wobbling in the bearing shaft, and the reason was there was a worn tooth on the escapement wheel. Two, in fact, together. I think position 4 and position 5 it was from initial step. I just had to get a file and file that off, because what it was doing, the drive pull was pushing in on the wheel and giving it that sort of effect. It was pushing against it, the wheel, instead of falling into it, and it was kind of moving it. It's sort of hard to explain. It was too difficult for me to video, but just they're the things you've got to look out for in these older machines.
Another thing we found is this plug was cut directly off.
Yeah, I just mentioned that a minute ago.
Yeah.
There's those wires there I was talking
so we
about.
had to find the problem.
Yeah.
So
anyway, it works. So
we're just transplanting the comb over. Yeah, good bend, isn't it?
Can you pass it here, please?
Yeah.
It is really badly bent.
Someone's had trouble with the switches, so they're trying to get more stroke for some reason.
Oh yeah, look, see if you ever see that's bent. Why would you do that? I mean, yeah, goodness me. I've never seen that done before. Anyway, another first for the goat shed. Always something different going on. Alright, well we're going to transplant that now, and we've just got to solder that in and put it all back together.
We've got to go through the score motor.
We've got to do the score motor switches, we've got to finish some of the switches on the relay. We've just completed what we found. That there's the what relay is that one there? That's the AX relay, I think, is it? Oh no, what's that one? The latching one. What's that one say?
Oh, it's a tilt.
Oh, it's a tilt TX. Oh, it's a tilt hold relay.
And someone's pinched the coil out of the second coin relay.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, there you go. You can just see that the second coin relay over there.
They took before we could.
So the coil's been knocked off. That was probably an A9740. This machine or this game has a plug that allows you to set. It's just located here. It's a tilt adjustment, in or out. So I think you can set that so you get your ball back. It doesn't tilt the whole game. Only the ball. You can just see a bit of paper under the score motor. That's where we cleaned the top, and we just do that with kerosene. Spanky standing on top. Proud as punch that he's cleaned it well. So that's just to stop it from dripping down. Once we get the hold relay in, we've just got to finish doing about 5 relays there, and we'll be ready to plug the motorboard back in. Like I said, it was all scoring the other day fine. Just fiddly, you know, some of the things you've got to do.
So remember when you're putting it back together, if the blade's underneath, it goes in the bottom row with the comb. If the blade is on top, it goes on the top one. So long blade on top gap there, long blade underneath, and the next one down.
Okay, there's a pro tip for you people, and it's always good to remember that, because, you know, in this case we did have to take the blades out of the ladder to replace the frame, and it is easy to get them wrong. For argument's sake, right up the far end to the just underneath Graham's left hand, there's a relay, a V for Victor relay, which is the whole, H for whole relay. And we noticed that one switch had come out of the comb, so someone's pushed it down. So when we get to that, we've already put that back in, but we want to check that for adjustment. Now some people say, oh, you know, you shouldn't go through every relay. Well, maybe if you're inexperienced, don't, but we're experienced, so we do. And like I say, we find all these different things. If we didn't go through every relay, we would not have found that problem with the hold relay and the frame being bent. So we feel it's quite important.
Because you don't want to start bending over into the machine when you really shouldn't have had to.
Well, especially at our age.
Yeah,
so it's much easier to work on a motorboard on the bench than bending over into it. I think you'll agree. Maybe some of you young fellows out there that are working on them, you don't care, but...
Well, I done it when I was in my 20s, 40 odd years ago.
Yeah, and you get older and it becomes a little bit problematic.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But I didn't think I'd still be fixing pinball machines in my 60s.
Well, no, that's right.
When I first started back in the 80s.
And I just mentioned, while Graham's doing that, I got an email yesterday from a friend in the USA, and he asked, had we ever done a video on, say, the 5 main reasons the score motor continues to run at reset? Well, the simple answer is no, we haven't. But I thought that was a great idea, so we will produce a video on, say, the 5 main reasons a score motor runs on, and that should be fairly fun.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
To see some of the things that happen. Of course, there's a multitude of reasons, but we'll highlight the 5 main ones that we come across sort of on a, almost daily basis. Now, once again, just over there in the far corner, I'm just going to... Could you turn those chime bars around, Graham? Maybe sit them just over to... Yes, there we go. Let's see. There they are. Alright. We've overhauled the chimes.
Yeah, done. Put in the grommets that were in it, they were... actually,
yeah, someone used post rubbers for us, grommets. The only one we've sort of run out, we've got a bit of an odd size grommet there, but it's doing the job. That one there. We've ordered, or we will be ordering some more chime kits soon. In fact, talk about parts, I think today, yes it is today, we've got a parts order from Pinball Resource coming in, and we've ordered some necessary parts that we use all the time. We sort of had run out of some of those parts, so that'll be good, and we'll be able to get our cupboard that we've shown you before and start setting them up. We're going to try and have a little bit of a break from fixing machines just the week before Christmas to do a bit of tidying up, if that works out for us, and try and make things a little easier for us to find things. So Graham's just about got those switches back in now.
The brain don't work good until about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's only 8:30 in the morning here now. And we're sorry we haven't had a video any earlier than this. I mentioned we had a training course over the last weekend. And of course we had to prepare for that. Not a lot of preparation, but it does take, a half a day out of our fixing, and we only work for half a day, so it knocks mainly half a day out of our fixing. So there you go. Alright, that's looking okay. The right coil is here, so we're fitting in an A9736. There's a brand new coil we have. A9736. Whoops. Well, there it is. Yep.
Beautiful.
We do have a number of second-hand coils.
Yeah. Just a couple.
Just while Graham's finishing that off, there's a little selection of coil brackets we just purchased recently, most complete with coils. But as everyone knows, or maybe everyone doesn't know, but this particular coil bracket break. Now they break right across the top here, across there. So I think we've just ordered some brand new ones from PBR, but we probably didn't really need to do that because we just found all these, and we got some new style ones as well.
We've got some trip back ones too.
Which is this one, this style here. We got some of those, so they're always handy to have, that sort of stuff. That all came from an old operator in Queensland.
He's not that old. Don't upset him. He's not that old.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Tony. He got them off an old operator. Yeah. I don't know whether the guy's still kicking or what, but anyway, we've got them now. Now there's another pro tip. Whenever you're soldering around these relays, put a bit of rag so that an errant piece of solder that drops off does not fall in the wrong spot. You do not want that. We've had that happen to us on that high hand that time. We did a video on that illustrating how it ended up with like a seahorse. If anyone saw that, it was incredible. The trouble that caused us, it took a long time to find. So a little bit of prevention is certainly in order. Alright, there he is. He's turned that round now, and you can see that that tab is now touching the metal plate and the relay is operating correctly. So that bent frame was the problem.
Switches are good. We had to do a little bit of upstroke on the long blades to give us a bit more downward pressure.
Now remember, this is the hold relay, rightio. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with a hold relay, Williams and Bally call it a lock relay. All the power to the coils and the lamp circuits, the two separate lamp circuits, goes via the hold relay. So if it's not working, things won't work. So it's quite an important relay in a Gottlieb game, and they should be adjusted so they have minimal pressure on the switches as well, so that it pulls in, holds on. So I believe we're just about, once we've cleaned the rest of these relays and check their adjustment, we'll put that back in the machine, and if necessary, we'll then run a troubleshooting video. But I don't really think we're going to get a lot of trouble on this.
Yeah, the machine was basically working.
It was sent to us for a tune-up.
But it had a lot of issues still.
But like you see, the things you find when you've got to do a tune-up. And we'd rather fix it properly the way it was when it came out of the factory than have hacks in it, if we possibly can. Some hacks are beyond help. However, Graham's just there. He's repairing that other 9738 coil now.
I thought I'd do it while it was in here.
Well, he's going to sort of scrape that's him scraping the wire. See, the solder won't stick. He's winding it round.
Plus, yeah, let's get her
Obviously, let's do it half a switch hanging off that. Anyway, that's pretty important that we do all that stuff. So keeping electromechanical pinball machines going is a big task, isn't it, Spanky? Yes, it is. And one other thing I just want to remind you of. You've seen them before. There's our popular goat shed signs. Now we've actually run out of those, and we've decided to do another run. We recently put out a poll on our Facebook page, and look, we didn't have a huge response. I think about 15 people responded. We've got to buy 100, but they're going to go on sale again. Probably have them around February next year. So look out for that. We'll post it on our page, and anyone that can buy it, wants to buy those. They're roughly about $22 posted, and any local people can pick them up in the shed, or we can post them here in Australia. I think it's about $12 postage. And providing they haven't gone up too much, in Australia they'll be about $15 each plus postage. So Spanky would appreciate your support. The small amount of money we make out of those goes towards buying things like those coil cases we just showed you, and things associated pinball parts. Well, I think we'll end this video now, and if you've watched this video so far, we thank you so very, very much. If it's a first time viewer, we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel. And if you do that, remember to hit the bell so you get notifications. Saturday morning our time, which will be the 30th in the USA, the Goat Shed will go live with what's happening in December. For a short time, we'll do that around about 8:30 AM Australian Eastern Time. So if you want to look that up wherever you are in the States, because that's where most of our viewers are from, we'll have a chat and we'll answer any questions you've got. So, this has been another Goat Shed presentation.